Okay, so let's make a full update on the situation that we currently have on USD CAD. Starting here from the monthly time frame, what we have is a market that has created a beautiful impulse to the upside, followed by this correction. Now, if you want information on this correction, what are you supposed to be doing? Taking your Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse. And what you can see that currently the market is around the 0.786 Fibonacci taken on the impulse. So basically the last Fibonacci level from which you definitely expect at least a reaction to the upside. And what we can also see is that this 0.786 is lining up perfectly with the previous structure resistance, which is now structure support. Basically, so we have a confluence of support inside of this area from a Fibonacci perspective on USD CAD if we look at the monthly time frame. In fact, the last time that the market went to the downside before starting all this impulse to the upside is exactly from this level here, which is precisely the previous resistance now turned support. If we go down on the weekly, what we can see. Now, on the weekly time frame situation is as well extremely interesting because, as we have said also in the previous analysis, we have in M formation retesting a very strong structure level both from the monthly and the weekly time frame. In fact, the level that we have identified on the monthly is also the weekly extremely precisely respected. In fact, we had resistance here, again resistance, and again resistance here, all turned support at this area, and the market is testing this zone with this M formation, and we definitely expect the market to give us a move to the upside to complete the pattern at the neckline from this zone. Going down on the daily, what we can see. Now, on the daily time frame, situation is quite different at the moment because the market has just continued to the downside without giving any sign of bullishness, therefore impossible to be taking any longs on this pair yet. And currently we are also below this daily resistance. So if the market will now reach this area looking for a long from a structure resistance on the daily is definitely not a good idea. So we will have to wait for the structure to break back to the upside. But before I show you how we'll be approaching this situation on USD CAD, let's first go and give a quick check at what we have from a COT perspective on the CAD. So basically what the biggest banks and institutions are currently doing on CAD USD, because all currencies on the spot are traded against the USD. Therefore, if you're checking the data for the CAD, what you're actually checking is CAD USD. And if you want information on USD CAD, you simply have to reverse everything. And what we can see that on the CAD net positions increase from minus 35K all the way up to minus 12K. So definitely institutions have been longing CAD USD in the short term, meaning that they have been shorting USD CAD. And in fact, USD CAD has been making the move to the downside because clearly institutions have been adding longs on CAD USD, so adding shorts on USD CAD going from 19K to 32K. And obviously net positions sharply increasing. So still, why didn't we see the move to the upside? Because institutions are still shorting USD CAD. We still don't have any confirmations. That is why we still haven't longed USD CAD with students. And what are we waiting for at this point? At this point, we are waiting for the market to clearly show us that it is actually ready to make the move to the upside. So if the market will actually manage to break above this previous resistance, at this point, that will be turned support. So after the break, on the retest of the structure, what we will be doing with students, as usual, monthly, weekly, and daily time frame combined with the COT data are the best time frames to look for when it comes to the direction of the market. When it comes to the entry, the best time frame is the 4 hours. So after a daily break and retest of the structure on the 4-hour time frame inside of this area, we will be monitoring price action on the 4 hours, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice long with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for the move to the upside and completion of the pattern at this previous support, not a resistance from a daily perspective, which is also the completion zone of the weekly M formation. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, and I will see you in the next video.